Hey friends, Billy from LM Cases here, and today we are going to look at a very unique version of our Mobile Technicians Workbox. So, the Mobile Technicians Workbox is a standard item for us. Actually, I designed this case for myself. This is the case that I have in my integration workshop here at LM, and decided to make it a product, and it has been rather popular throughout the 4 years of its existence. So Stephen from AVL, not one to have a normal looking case. We've built a couple of these for him in various colors. I think we did a purple, a green, and an orange one previously. And if you check us out on Instagram, you can see those posts. But for this one, he needed something that was louder than orange, louder than purple, louder than green. He wanted tie-dye. That's right, a tie-dyed workbox, which I gotta tell you, this thing has been here for a week or so as we've been building it, and everybody that has been walking through our shop, from maintenance technicians to our own guys, has been taking pictures of this thing, and I can totally see why. This is just so cool. There have been a lot of people that have come into my office and said, dude, that tie-dye case is really cool. So in case you're bored with a regular black case, we can certainly do anything you'd like as far as the laminate goes. So this is just a standard Wilsonart laminate. We've done cases previously out of laminate, custom Wilsonart laminates. The ones that come to mind off the top of my head are Bourbon barrel. There is a color called antique bourbon barrel that we've done for a company in Kentucky that wanted a Kentucky-themed road case set, so we did a lot of their cases out of Bourbon barrel, and I will link those cases in the description if you want to see what that looks like. But the tie-dye is super, super loud. This is very cool. Again, I'm just going to keep walking around this case and shooting it because it is just so loud. So, for those of you not familiar with the Mobile Technicians Workbox, this is a workbox that is specifically designed with tools in mind. So the top drawers here are 1.75 inches tall. This is about as small as a wood drawer that we can go here at LM. But they're specifically designed for tools, hand tools. In my workbox that I have in integration, I've got my screwdrivers, anything that's a hand tool in the top drawer. I've got pliers and cutters and things like that in the bottom drawers. But this is great for any video application, audio application where you need little adapters and turnarounds and little plastic kit boxes and that kind of thing. So the first 4 drawers of this workbox are 1.75 inches tall. Now the next one down features our movable divider network here that we refer to in LM nomenclature as tech dividers, resulting from this workbox. I think this is actually the first workbox that we did these dividers on, and that's why we colloquially call them tech dividers, because they're on the Mobile Technicians Workbox. So the way that this works is that we have PE foam on the side that have dado slots cut in them, and these are 1/4 inch marine grade plastic dividers that you can just slide in any compartment that you want. So again, in video world, this works out well if you've got format converters or little patch cables or anything like that beyond tools. If you've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it a million times. Here is the standard LM Cases drawer build procedure. The drawers are built out of 1/2 inch Baltic birch. They are mounted on heavy-duty Accuride glides. They have a 1/2 inch ABS or black ABS laminated piece of plywood on the front for the drawer face that hides the glides, and they are finished in black textured coating. And one of the things that we do at LM, I mean, obviously I'm a bit biased. I think that all of our cases are the best, but you know, I grew up at this company, so I have to say those things. Is we build all of our drawers into an inner shell. So if you think about an LM workbox like a shock mount rack, it basically works in the same way. So all of our drawers are mounted into a 1/2 inch plywood shell, and then that whole unit is slid into the case. So if you look around the border here, this is a 1/2-inch piece of PE that isolates the drawer unit from the exterior case. And if you can see very, very slightly in here, this is the 1/2-inch shell. And the reason why we do that are for a couple of reasons. One, oftentimes drawer glides are mounted right by handles. And in my over 20 years of experience here at LM, I have yet to see a workbox that isn't absolutely loaded to its maximum capacity. As some of those, I swear they operate in a vacuum. There's not even air in those drawers. So because of that, they're oftentimes very heavy, and you're transferring all of that stress to the outside of the case. So when you say move this case over a ramp with its handles or go up over a dock plate or something like that, you're transferring all that stress into drawer glides. Oftentimes LM will fix other manufacturers' cases that have kind of busted apart, and that is one of the reasons, is that as the case shifts and racks of its normal flexibility, the drawer glides will oftentimes break, which again is why we use the super ultra mega super heavy duty Accuride glides. These are really, really amazing glides. We have had very, very few failures. The only time that I've ever seen glide failures at LM, actually, I'll just give you the tea, if you will. One customer had them break because they were literally a sports team transporting weights, and they flipped the case on its back, and there were weights bouncing on the drawers, and they broke the glides. But in my over 20 years experience at LM, that is the only time I've really seen these Accuride glides break. They're very good. We have used these since the 80s with, again, just that one instance of failure. So I would say with the amount of workboxes that we build over the course of time, they're a very, very successful product and will be successful for you. So this is, I believe, a 4-inch tall drawer. This is duplicated down. This is a 4-inch open drawer. Again, same construction all throughout. This particular drawer has carpet on the bottom. The sides are texture coated. The bottom is carpet. I do like the carpeted bottoms on drawers just so that when you throw things in there, they either don't dent up the wood or it just, even from an audio standpoint, it sounds better. This is a 6-inch deep drawer, again with tech dividers, just as a comparison here. This is, again, for larger items, format converters, patch cables, etc., etc. This is also a 6-inch drawer, same construction, black texture coated carpet bottom. Our bottom drawer is a bit unique. This is, I believe, either an 8 or a 10-inch drawer. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry, I'm terrible sales guy, terrible marketing guy. But one of the things that this case does have is a power module in the lid, and this is a bit of a unique drawer where it has this little cutout in the bottom to accommodate the box in the back. So this is obviously designed for larger items. If you've, say for an audio example, if you've got condenser microphones or something like that that are in factory cases, you can stick them in here. Or from a tool standpoint, you can put all your drills and circular saw and all that kind of stuff. We do include a LM Tour Systems power cable with this. This is our standard flavor, 12 gauge SO heavy duty cable, comes with a 4.5-inch piece of heat shrink, the rip tie LM Tour Systems branded cable tie, and heavy duty Lex connectors. The standard flavor is 25 feet with those. We do have a builder on the web store. If you are interested in us building you power cable, you can get that 15 amp Edison cable in whatever length you want. And then we also have a bunch of other power cables if you do want us to build cables for you. A lot of people don't know that as far as the integration goes at LM, we do build a lot. We do build all that stuff in-house, so if you want it, we can build it. So the cool thing about this particular workbox is it has a flip-up table in the lid. And before I show you that, it also has an aerosol can container on the bottom. So the flip-up table works like that. It is built out of 1/2-inch Baltic birch, and then it has a 1/4-inch piece of marine-grade plastic on the top, specifically so that if you're working on something, it's relatively non-abrasive and easy to clean. So if it gets wet or anything like that, it's pretty good. So one of the cool things that we have here is this is what we like to call our WBQB-L power module. So this is a standalone power module that is specifically designed for work boxes, WB being Workbox in the name. This is what we like to call is our LM Tour Systems brand of cables and rack panels and connectors and all that kind of stuff. This is specifically designed so that you have power and lighting for the work surface. One of the reasons why I designed this workbox for myself is a lot of the machine repair and things like that that happen at LM are done by me. So I wanted a workbox that I could take up to a machine, and if I had to solder or something like that, I had copious amounts of power available and a work surface. So this box has 3-pin XLR 12-volt lights on the side. These are just HOSA lights that are gooseneck lights. You can put them wherever you want. You can kick them out of the way. The cool thing about it being in the 3-pin XLR format is that if you did want to use that light like a torch or move it someplace else, you can just use any standard mic cable, and that can move it around. So the box itself has a switch for the lights, and it also has 2 Decora punches in it. So you can configure these however you want. I like the Leviton T5633 outlets because they have a USB-A and a USB-C. I know that phones and things like that are moving towards the USB-C protocol, but there are certainly a lot of things that still use USB-A. So having the option of USB-A and USB-C are great. But that being said, it is a Decora punch. And if you want it to, say, have just regular 20-amp outlets or anything like that, we can swap those out to be whatever you want. So if you have a existing, let's say that you have an LM workbox and you want to put that in your workbox, you can buy this and the lighting from our web store, lmcasesonline.com. I will leave you a link in the description for that if you want to check that out. The box itself is powered just via a power con, so you don't have to go crazy with powering it, even if it's a non-LM case. At least you can put LM power stuff in there. So speaking of the power, the way that that works is there is a PowerCon cable, and this goes to a box on the bottom of the case. This is a SO cable wrapped in TechFlex for extra durability. So this is a view from the front. Let's check out the power box on the side. So this is what we colloquially call at LM our double D power inlet box, which means it has 2 blank D punches in there, so that you can populate that with different connectors should you need it. And this just has a regular Hubble 5278C inlet. This is the recessed male inlet, so you use the LM Tour Systems extension cord, and it mates quite nicely with this. And then it is just hidden behind a Penn LCOM cable hatch for the road. So one of the other unique features on this case is it has a combination locking recessed latch. And that is, if you want to keep this case on site and use it as a toolbox and you want a little bit of restricted access, you can do that. So these latches are actually very cool. The way that they work is there's a little flange here that locks into a combination locking unit. It's a 3-number combination lock. Is it Fort Knox? No, but will it keep honest people out of your workbox from touching your tools? Yes, it absolutely will. So the case itself is built from 1/2-inch plywood. Generally, this would be the part of the video where I say you can get it laminated with your choice of ABS colors. However, on this one, you can get it laminated, I guess, with whatever you want from the Wilsonart catalog, I suppose. Another unique thing is we do have the company silkscreen on here, the AVL silkscreen. We do all this stuff in-house. We do all of our silkscreen artwork setup and everything in-house. So if you are interested in silkscreens, we can add them. One of the things that I think is an often overlooked add-on in our web store cases especially is, I would say most cases, with the exception of a few, you can add your logo up to 5 prints directly from the web store. So if you do want to do that, there's a little drop-down page on most cases to show your company logo if you want to put it on there. As far as the rest of the hardware set goes, very standard stuff. We use deep recessed Penn LCOM latches, handles. I love these. These are huge. They work really well because, as the name implies, it recesses the rubber grip of the handle into the dish. It actually is a divot that goes in. So when you're packing this case, the rubber of the handle won't interfere with other cases, which is a big deal. Which is also, that being said, why we spec flat triangle corners on this case versus regular ball corners. The OD of this case is, I believe, 30. It's either 30 by 30 or 24 by 30. I can't remember. I will have a edit in the video to show the correct the correct OD. I'm sorry, that's just escaping me right now. But the case does ride on heavy duty Coulson Encore 4x2-inch casters with the front two locking, so that when you pull a drawer out, the whole workbox doesn't come with you. So again, shout out to Steven at AVL. This is a very, very cool case. I am sad to see it go, but I am excited to see the journey that it will go on. So if you have any questions, you can email me direct, billy@lmcases.com. If you want to check out the web store, if you'd like to buy this case in its standard, very non-loud version, you can check that out at lmcasesonline.com. And if you'd like to see the daily goings-on of LM and find our web store product propaganda in your Instagram feed daily, you can check us out at LM_cases. Thanks so much. Hope you have a great day.